Relativity. What's with it? It's your drinkability. Sergeant, yeah, you know how we gets down. Triple B. Shotgun and poop. Up in here tonight, and we finna do how we do. You know. It's beautiful. Everything is everything.
You keep your town nice and clean, and we do that with our people.
Why are you still alive?
Why are you? Where are all the bodies? Has anyone ever told you you're kind of a weird guy?
Yeah, but they're all dead now.
I have to tell you something. It's about where I came from.
There's no before. There's only from now on.
You were supposed to be here.
Why?
It's time for you to come back home.
It seeks to destroy civilization. I get you in progress too. You know, there was something about the way she looked at me.
I think we're alone now. Directed by Reed Morano. The apocalypse proves a blessing in disguise. From one lucky recluse until a second survivor arrives with a thread of companionship. Now, what's interesting about that is that when you watch the trailer that they tried to give me, I can see they were trying to bait and switch me, so I try to bait and switch you guys. And when I saw the trailer, I saw a little bit of some apocalypse stuff, but I really felt like it was a movie about a midget or a small guy who basically has to get cool with a chick. And that's kind of what it was, and I kind of appreciate that about the movie. It's like, in the movie, there's a guy named Dale who's basically like a dwarf, or I think the word midget's actually a cool word. I don't understand why people get mad. Like, if I was a midget, I'd be like, bro, I'm a fucking midget, bro, what? Like, what's up? Bitch, what do you want? I never looked at it like it's like a derogatory term, but if it is, then I'm sorry, and I don't want to say that, but I don't look at it as like a term of like defaming or talking down on someone. I think little person is stupid, because a little person to me is like a person that's just small. Like, you're something else. I mean, you still are a person that's little, but I mean, like, a baby could be bigger than you sometimes. So I feel like, you know, I don't look at it as something bad. It's just, it is what it is. I've actually never had a chance to meet a smaller person and actually just sit down and be like, what's up? I probably said like hi or something to him. I think I worked with this chick at McDonald's. She's really cool. I never got to really sit down and like be like, you know, are your mom and dad small, or are you afraid to have kids? You know, we weren't friends like that to be intimate, and for me to ask her these questions to see how she felt. You know, me being a fat man, people ask me questions all the time and shit, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. So I'm sure she would have felt the same way. But anyway, his name's Dale. The way the show makes you kind of feel is like the town kind of treated him like shit, and now that everyone's dead, he's kind of happy about it. He's like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, which I thought was kind of cool. He's a librarian, and he basically tries to act like, you know, shit is what it used to be, even though it ain't. And he tries to just have a normal life and just do his thing like shit's cool. There's a chick named Grace. I'm not going to tell you too much about her role in the movie, but she's the chick. Like most females, she comes in just like a tornado, just doing her thing, not giving a fuck about what Dale's got going on, just doing his thing in this weird town. And that's another thing, to me, the town itself was a character, which I really appreciated about this movie, because you could tell that they used the budget very wisely. Like, in this movie, less is more. So there's like no one in the town, and that makes a town an entity on itself. Like all these alleyways and these rooftops, and it's just a place like you almost wanted to be there and wanted to see it alive, but since it's dead, it's something else. Where it's not dead to where like in a western or something, it's abandoned. It's more like it still looks good. Like the foliage isn't overgrown. Shit's not all crazy and shit. You know, it doesn't look like anything bad happened there. That's why I kind of think the movie's kind of scary in that aspect. Not more traditional scary, but more like this could actually happen. Because what I loved about the movie was there's no exposition, or maybe there was and they cut it out. I feel like they probably had a lot more of this movie they cut out, and I actually like that better. Sometimes leaving me to my own imagination. Trying to give an example, like I just saw the Batman not that long ago, and even though it had a very low rating, when I saw what the Riddler had done to those dudes with the tape over their faces and with the bags, I instantly went in my head to some sick sadistic shit, like maybe worse than what it was on the screen. I was like, oh shit, like what was he doing to him? Why'd he put a bag over? Oh man, it was some weird shit. And my homie was like, bro, calm down. I was like, nah bro, why'd he put a tuck tape over his mouth? Fuck that. it was that shit was funny, man. So yeah, the town definitely is the third character in the movie. So yeah, let's get to the good stuff. I love the visual direction. I like the colors, and I like the angles. A lot of weird shots, a lot of like, I don't know if it's a drone shot or a lot of like, you know, over the top shots, a lot of back shots, a lot of shots where things are coming towards you. I thought it was cool. Like I said, I love the town. I thought the town was cool. Some of the houses were interesting. They didn't show you too much of it. That's why I wanted to see more. Like if they would have showed you a lot of it and went through all the different places and went everywhere, I would have been like, fuck this place. But you would see a house you wanted to go into, but you went to that one. Or you would see a little area maybe you wanted to go down, like a video game kind of. So yeah, I liked all the characters. I thought they were pretty cool because there's not that many of them. Less is more here. There were some surprise cameos in this movie that I really thought was cool. They were real short, they were small, you know, some animals and stuff like that. I thought that was the best way to use the budget. Let's get a top tier actor, put him around some other good actors, pay a bunch of people to let us use their houses, and just make a quick ass movie and get the fuck out. Like, make some money. I never heard of this movie before, but Peter Dinklage is my man, so you know I like him from Game of Thrones. So if he did a movie, once I saw him, I said, shit, I'm gonna have to check this movie out. So yeah, that was the good stuff. Let's go to the bad stuff. So, the action in the movies, like, if you're expecting action by the trailer, or if you thought in any way, like, there was going to be, like, some zombies or some shit like that, I'm sad to say I don't think it's a spoiler, but, I mean, there's just not a lot of action in this movie. It didn't bother me at all because it was like a movie within a movie to me. I can't tell you, you know, any spoilers or anything, but I really felt like I got what the person who made the movie was trying to show you. That despite a bunch of shit, some other shit happens, and that shit's always gonna happen. So it's like you got some shit over here, you got some shit over there, and no matter what happens, there's always gonna be some shit. And I was like, that's that's kind of what I got from the movie, and I thought that was cool. But like I said, yeah, the not having action, some of you guys, some of you animals out there are gonna be like, fuck this movie the first 20 minutes. You're gonna be like, tell the bitch to get naked, dude should do this. I can see some of my homies watching this shit like, nah, bro, this ain't for me. So, like I said, there's not a lot of action in it. If that's what you're looking for, this ain't it. But I don't think it's a spoiler. But I just still think that there's a lot to it that you should check out. I don't think action always is the end all when it comes to something like this. To make you imagine, like Reservoir Dogs. In Reservoir Dogs, you didn't really see what the fuck happened, but I can see in my head the bank robbery perfectly. I can see where he fucked up, where he killed him, and just because the way they portrayed it in the movie, I've never actually seen that Reservoir scene. But if Quentin Tarantino did a prequel, I mean, shit, he could do it just how the guy said it in the movie, and I would be like, okay, yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's a slow burn. That's the next thing. I mean, it's a real slow burn. Shit's happening, but not very fast. It's almost like real life, you know what I mean? It's just like, ugh, let's look. It's not bad. It's just it takes some time to get there, and when it gets there, you're like, oh, okay, but you know, I'm not mad at that. I feel like sometimes movies don't do that. They want to try and get there hella fast, and sometimes meandering is how real life is. It's how relationships are. It's like how marriage is. It's just like it's not always that hella have fun. Sometimes it's the same old routine, and it is what it is. So yeah, it's a slow burn. Last bad thing was it had a weird ending. I wasn't mad at the ending because I felt like it left a lot to be interpreted by myself, and I feel like a lot of good endings of a movie do that. You shouldn't necessarily walk out feeling a certain way. You should feel a way, but it shouldn't always be good or bad or happy or sad. Sometimes you just walk out and go, huh, like what the fuck? Because I feel like those are the kind of movies that make you think, make you want to go back, make you look at the guy next to you and be like, even if you don't know him, like, you do the shoulder shrugging shit. Because if you guys all walk out in the same feeling, then you're not even looking at each other. You're just all like content, like, oh, okay, well, cool. That was, instead of being like, well, I mean, like, what did you think? No, you're a fucking asshole. Fuck you. Like, well, fuck you too, buddy. All right, yo, shit, fuck it. That's the way I feel like a good movie should be. I remember, for instance, and I'll probably do a review on this movie, Mother. I went to go see this movie with a chick, and we almost broke up at the end of the movie. It was so chaotic that the dude shit was happening, the girl shit was happening, and me and her were just like, towards the end of the movie, like, fuck you, bitch. She's like, fuck you. So, I mean, yeah, it's a weird ending, though. It's like, it definitely, if you guys do watch the movie, if there's any 4 or 5 of you, one of you guys, leave a comment if you watched it and tell me what you thought about the ending, because I don't know if you liked it or not. Tell me.
There was something about the way she looked.
All in all, I give the movie an 8 because I'm a weirdo when it comes to movies. I don't always necessarily like sex in my movies. I don't necessarily have to have gore in my movies. It's cool if it's there and there's a time and a place for all that shit, but sometimes there's not a time and a place, and sometimes it's about being real. Sometimes it's about being routine or being normal and making me feel like I'm watching a movie that I could be in, instead of me saying I'm gonna turn off my belief and watch this fake movie. Being like, oh shit, like damn, like somewhere in the world, if this ever happens, I'll go back to this movie and be like, oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah. So yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good, and yeah, that's it, man. If someone's out there watching, like I said, let me know what you thought about the ending, and fuck you all.
Relativity. What's with it? It's your drinkability. Sergeant, yeah, you know how we gets down. Triple B. Shotgun and poop. Up in here tonight, and we finna do how we do. You know.